Hello everyone, welcome to UPSC Previous Year's Questions course by GK Today. In this course, we are going to cover the last 40 years of UPSC Prelims Paper 1 questions that are still relevant to the examination. And the same course is available for a small fee on our GK Today app. Today, we start with the year 1979 and this is the second part of this year's video, which we will cover in 5 quizzes. So let us begin. The young chicks come out of eggs within how many days after being hatched by the hen? Correct answer is 3 weeks. So a hen is committed to hatching chicks and is known as broody in that state, and it's controlled by instinct, hormones and lighting conditions. Chickens come out of eggs within 21 days after being hatched by the hen, and some breeds even take a little less. If the egg has not hatched after 25 days, it should be removed from the broody hen or incubator. Eggs need constant heat during the full incubation period for the embryo to develop into a chick. Which of the following is a fast-growing tree? Correct answer is eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is a fast-growing tree. Most eucalyptus species have a root depth of 1.5 to 2 meter, and its root system is more specifically adapted to using rain-fed soil moisture from the upper soil profile, rather than from the groundwater table at considerable depth. The plant is significant for wood availability, livelihood generation and carbon sequestration that address the challenges of global warming and climate change. Which of the following is a result of decrease in white blood cells? Correct answer is decrease in antibodies. A low white blood cell count usually is followed by a decrease in the number of antibodies. When your white blood cell count is low, you may not have the usual signs and symptoms when developing an infection, such as redness, swelling, etc. White blood cells are the protectors of our body. They act as a defense system. So if you have a low count, that means your body is incapable of defending itself. Which of the following minerals is responsible for the occurrence of anemia? Correct answer is iron. The major cause of anemia is iron deficiency, and it can occur due to either thalassemia or other conditions. Anemia is a condition that develops when your blood lacks enough healthy red blood cells or hemoglobin. Iron deficiency is thought to be the most common cause globally, although other conditions such as folate, vitamin B12 and vitamin A deficiency, chronic inflammation, parasitic infections, and inherited disorders can also cause anemia. Which of the following is the most common use of reserpines derived from the plant Serpentina? Now, reserpines are usually used to alleviate high blood pressure, and Serpentina is used for the same reason. So, the correct answer is option B. Reserpine drug is derived from the root of certain species of tropical plants. It is derived from the powdered whole root of Indian shrub Roflera serpentine. It can be used to treat snake bites, insomnia, hypertension, and insanity. Which of the following is the best reason behind the fact that bats can fly in the dark? Correct answer is bats produce high-pitched sounds ultrasonic. So ultrasonic sounds is the reason. The sound that bats make are so high-pitched that humans cannot hear them. However, these sounds act like a direction-making mechanism for them. So bats make this high-pitched squeaks while they fly. The echoes travel back to the bat and it can tell how far away the object is. Bats use echoes or reflected sound to determine the surrounding situation and to locate their prey. Often we see bats fly at night. They fly without hitting anything in the dark. This process is known as echolocation, that is locating objects based on the echo. Which of the following is the name given to the minor planets revolving between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter? Correct answer is asteroids. This is the famous asteroid belt. Asteroids are small and rocky objects that orbit the Sun, and they are much smaller than planets. There are a lot of asteroids in our solar system, and most of them are located in a region between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Some asteroids are hundreds of miles in diameter, but many more are as small as pebbles. Most asteroids are made of different kinds of rocks, but some have clay or metal in them. Also, many asteroids are as old as the galaxy itself, They are as old as the time of the Big Bang. So asteroid research is a very lucrative research branch in science because there's a lot you can know from studying these asteroids. Ajanta caves are located in which of the following state? Correct answer is Maharashtra. So the Ajanta caves are located in Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. It is the most famous UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India. The caves were discovered by an army officer in Madras Regiment of the British Army in 1819 during one of its hunting expeditions. Most of the caves were constructed in the period between 2nd century BC and 6th century AD. The paintings and sculptures of Ajanta are considered masterpieces of Buddhist regional art. They had considerable artistic influences, and Ajanta consists of 30 caves, and each cave is dedicated to the life of Buddha. Each cave is filled with sculpture, with murals and ceiling paintings. The main theme of the paintings is a depiction of various Jataka stories, different incidents associated with the life of Buddha, and contemporary events in social life. Which of the following methods was used for election of members of Constituent Assembly? Correct answer is they were elected by the Provincial Assembly members. Now, the Constituent Assembly of India was a sovereign body, and it was formed on the recommendation of the Cabinet Mission, which visited India in 1946 to draft a constitution for the country. The constitution-making body was elected by the Provincial Legislative Assembly, constituting of 389 members, who included 93 from princely states and 296 from British India. The seats to the British Indian province and princely states were allotted in proportion to their respective population and were to be divided among Muslims, Sikhs, and the rest of the communities. All sections of Indian society got representation in the Constituent Assembly in spite of limited suffrage. Which of the following actions can be taken by the Rajya Sabha regarding money bill? Correct answer is it can withhold the bill for 14 days to make recommendations. So a bill is said to be money bill if it only contains provisions related to taxation, borrowing of money by the government, expenditure from or receipt to Consolidated Fund of India. The Rajya Sabha may not amend money bills but can recommend amendments, and a money bill must be returned to the Lok Sabha within 14 days or the bill is deemed to have passed both houses in the form it was originally passed by the Lok Sabha. Which of the following is the cause of inflation? Among the given options, the correct answer is increase in money supply and fall in production. So inflation is a situation of a sustained increase in the general price level in an economy. There are two main causes of inflation, demand pull and cost pull. Now both are responsible for a general rise in price in economy. Cost push occurs when supply cost forces prices higher. If the inflation in an economy is of the cost push type, then the inflationary situation usually leads to a fall in production. Demand pull inflation is used by Keynesian economics to describe the price levels rise because of an imbalance in the aggregate supply and demand. When the aggregate demand in an economy strongly outweighs the aggregate supply, prices go up. Which of the following said, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it? And the correct answer is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Tilak is known for the quote in Marathi, Swarajya is my birthright and I shall have it. He was one of the first and the strongest advocates of Swaraj, which means self-rule. He was a strong radical in Indian consciousness, and in addition, he coined the phrase Swaraj is my birthright. This was originally construed by Baptista and was later made popular by Tilak. Now he ignited the spark of patriotism among countless Indians and successfully mobilized people from all sections of society and deepened the connect between our citizens and India's glorious past. Gresham's law in economics relates with which of the following? Correct answer is circulation of currency. Now Gresham's law says that bad money drives out good. For example, if there are two forms of commodity money in circulation, which are accepted by law as having similar face value, the more valuable commodity will gradually disappear from circulation. The law holds that bad money drives out good money in circulation, and Good money is currency that is believed to have greater value or more potential for greater value than its face value. Logically, consumers will choose to use bad money over good money because good money has the potential to be worth more than its face value. However, bad money is simply cheaper. Which of the following provisions was provided by the Constitution's 44th Amendment? Correct answer is, it restores to the High Courts and to the Supreme Courts the jurisdiction to consider the validity of any central or state law. So this has to do with fundamental rights basically. The provision of the 44th Constitutional Amendment where the right to property, which has been the occasion for more than one amendment of the Constitution, would cease to be fundamental right and will become only a legal right. During emergency, it enables the rights of the citizen to move to court for enforcement of fundamental rights, including the right to life and liberty, to be suspended. It is sought to be provided that an emergency can be proclaimed only on the basis of written advice tendered to the President by the Cabinet. A special provision is being made guaranteeing the right of the media to report freely and without censorship that proceedings in Parliament and the state legislatures have. It restores to the High Courts and to the Supreme Court the jurisdiction to consider the validity of any central and state law, and it was proposed to amend Articles 132, 133 and 134 and insert a new Article 134A to provide that a High Court shall consider the question of granting a certificate for appeal to Supreme Court immediately after delivery of judgment and decree final order. Which of the following subjects is contained in the concurrent list? Correct answer is education. The Constitution of India has provided for a division of powers between the central and the state governments under the 7th schedule. There are 3 lists, the union and state and concurrent. The concurrent list includes subjects that give powers to both the central and the state governments. Subjects like education, including technical education, medical education and universities, population control and family planning, criminal law, prevention of cruelty to animals, protection of wildlife and animal, forests, etc. India is a parliamentary system. In a parliamentary system, the executive is responsible to which of the following? The executive branch of Indian government is responsible to the legislature. So the correct answer is to legislature. Now the Constitution of India states that the executive branch of state shall be collectively responsible to the legislature. So here state means the country itself and the executive branch of state is the Council of Ministers and legislature means House of the People, that is Lok Sabha. This implies that Parliament should oversee the work of the government and hold it responsible for its actions and omissions. Now there are 2 ways through which Parliament controls the executive. 1. The Parliament keeps a day-to-day watch over activities of the executive, as ours is a parliamentary system of government and the executive are responsible to the Parliament. The Parliament may remove a cabinet out of power by a vote of no confidence and may reject a bill or budget proposed by the cabinet. Now, members of the Parliament have a right to ask questions and supplementary questions to the ministers, and any lapses or mishandling on the part of the government can be exposed in the Parliament. Who among the following participates in the election of the Vice President of India? Correct answer is members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the Vice President shall be elected by the members of the Electoral College, which consists members of both houses of Parliament, and in accordance to the system of proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote. And voting in such an election is by secret ballot. Now the Vice President shall not be a member of either houses. No person shall be eligible for election as Vice President until and unless they are a citizen of India, have completed age of 35 years, qualified for election as a member of Council of States, and they shall not hold any office of profit under Government of India or state or any government authority. Which of the following is not included in the list of fundamental duties in the Constitution? Correct answer is secularism. Fundamental duties are mentioned in Article 51A, Part 4A of the Indian Constitution, and it specifies the list of fundamental duties that the citizens must abide by. It says it shall be the duty of every citizen of India to abide by the Constitution, respect its ideals and institutions, to cherish and to follow noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India, to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so, to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood among all people of India transcending religious, linguistic, regional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women, to value and preserve rich heritage of our composite culture, to protect and improve the natural environment including forest, lake, river, etc., to develop the scientific temper, humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and to abjure violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievement. Who among the following has written the book named India Wins Freedom? Correct answer is Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. The book was written by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who is one of the makers of modern India, and it has a lot of anecdotal stories which only a person who was involved intimately with the movement will know. Now, Abul Kalam Azad was a senior Muslim leader of the Indian National Congress during Indian independence movement, and he is commonly referred to as Maulana Azad. He adopted Azad, which means free, as his pen name. He was the first Minister of Education of independent India. He had played important role in foundation of Jamia Millia Islamia at Aligarh in Uttar Pradesh. He assisted in shifting campus of university from Aligarh to New Delhi in 1934. The President of the Union of India has same constitutional authority as which of the following? Correct answer is British monarch. So they are both constitutional positions, that is politically Indian President and the British King or Queen are on the same position, but the major difference is that Indian President is indirectly elected. There is a constitutional monarchy in Britain means that British King or Queen is the head of the state, but the power-taking decision resides with an elected parliament. Now that's all for this quiz. If you liked it, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to GK Today. The part 3 of this video will be up tomorrow. And until next time, goodbye and good luck.